أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيد المرسلين ورحمة للعالمين Adab, salam and namaskaram. With deep gratitude and profound spiritual duty-bound heart's connection, as we are here in Mahabalipuram. This is my second visit, again thanks to Swami Mitrananji, that we are here coming from Ajmer Sharif, a place from last 800 years, serving all humanity. That gratitude with a learning experience. For this year, as the world is truly looking up to India, as India delivers the promises, the commitments of our leadership skills, commitments of the common citizens, as we are here at the Civil 20 International Conference. Our thanks to Chinmaya Mission, United Consciousness, Vikrant Singh Tomar Sahab is here, Vivekananda Kendra, and all the supporting organizations. I remember last year in December with Swami Mitrananji, we were all together in Bali when the presidency of G20 was handed over to India. We were together for the R20 summit with the global leaders from all faith, spiritual organizations, interfaith organizations, hundreds of them. And during our conversation, they were all looking up to India. That as the G20 presidency is coming to India, the largest democracy in the world, the most vibrant country in the world. And truly in the 6 months, our able and visionary leadership of our nation has delivered. And in the next coming 6 months, will truly prove the landmark where these responsibilities are shared with the global leaders. We walked together with Swamiji in the ancient temples in Bali, listened to the traditional Indonesian salawat, sending the Sufi poetic expressions of the Indonesian provinces. We were together. And truly, as the name signifies of Swami Mitrananji, that a joy of a spiritual friendship is experienced when we walk together. Today, coming here with all the dignitaries, spiritual leaders who have explained and talked about the importance of Sanatani Dharma, responsibilities. And even before that, when the Honorable Governor Sahab expressed and explained into the most sublime and deeper words of the true embodiment of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, where the world is truly learning these important significance, symbols, terminologies, and the essence of all faith, which are equally respected, practiced, and lived in different parts of India. When I was asked to be part of this respected panel, and I was listening to Sonu Sahib also ji, about the various practices into the spiritual traditions. And Sanatani Dharma truly embodies the significance and the spiritual aspect of all major faiths and the spiritual traditions which are practiced. And Sanatani Dharma truly embodies the philosophies in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, and all the major faiths which are practiced. it truly encompasses a wide range of meanings, but also generally refers to the principle and duties. The Dharma truly refers as the duties, which is embodiment of the faith practices. Being born and brought up in Ajmer Sharif, a place where all faith people comes, and we have been taught from our childhood, as part of serving, that never ask anybody's name, anyone's religion, their nationality, their language or region where they come from. If you have to ask any question, just ask one question, that how can we serve you? कि हम आपकी क्या सेवा कर सकते हैं? That is why from last 800 years, the langar that is served every day is pure vegetarian langar, which we don't even include onion and garlic, so that even our brothers and sisters from the Jain community can also come and serve into the traditions of one world, one family. And truly, when we talk about the practices, as Adi Shankaracharya spoke about and gave the world of Advaita, oneness of being. And when we talk about Dharma, it is truly that living embodiment of these principles. Unity of existence, Wahdat al-Wajud. It is the same concept of Advaita, which Hazrat Khawaja Gharib Nawaz, the saint of Ajmer, talked about as Wahdat al-Wajud, unity of existence. So both in Sanatani Dharma and spiritual traditions coming from the Chishti order, which Joseph Sahiba talked about, the meditative practices as the crown practices, as the moksha practices, and also the chakras. In its practices of Sufism also, when we talk about the Sitta Lataif, the 7 spiritual receptors within the body. And when they're activated with meditation, with practices of divine remembrance, which is known as the Sir, which is the crown part of Sir, Kafi, Akhfa, Bad, and Naf, which is in similarity with the different aspect of these spiritual practices into Sanatani Dharma as well. So this leads to inner transformation, which is important to have a higher consciousness when we are serving into the public domain as a personal spiritual journey. Another commonalities between these spiritual practices that lead us to the mystical love, where Sufism places a strong emphasis on the concept of divine love, often described as the love of God or the beloved. This love is seen as a transformative force that can purify the heart, leading to spiritual awakening. Similarly, in Sanatani Dharma speaks of cultivating boundless love and compassion for all beings, which can dissolve the barriers of separation and foster a sense of oneness. Ethical conduct, as well as non-dualistic perspective, which I just talked about, Advaita and Wahdatul Wajud. That oneness of being is something which makes us conscious to the sacred purpose that we all, as one human family, are being sent to this world. Each human being, each soul has a sacred trust, the Muqaddas Amanat. By inner silence and stillness, we can transform our existential perspective towards the humanity, as well as the sacred trust, the amana that is, we are all to each other. Another important aspect which is practiced between the spiritual traditions are detachment and renunciation. Sanatani Dharma, the practice of Dharma and Sufism both acknowledge the significance of detachment and renunciation into the spiritual journey. As one of the noble teachings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, Al-Khalqu Ayalullah, that whole humanity is one family, which truly reflects the ethos of our Indian traditions of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. In the 17th century, Dara Sikho, when he translated the Upanishad, the doors for European understanding towards the divine wisdom open. Even today, when we talk about the philosophy of Dara Sikho, and the book that he wrote is Majma'ul Bahrain, Meeting of the Two Oceans, the great philosophies, when they merge together, the world has much to listen, much to learn, and much to practice. As the G20 summit, we are halfway down. Some of the suggestions which were made, I think it is India that can truly give this vision to the world, that how we can truly be as one family, overcome the crisis, overcome the challenges, overcome the barriers which separate one human from another human. In 21st century, it is only India that can talk about the similarities of what Adi Shankaracharya talked thousands of years back, and what the great Sufi masters like Khawaja Moinuddin Chishty, Maulana Rumi are talking about, the similarities of one family. It is in today's time that during the COVID time, when we were invited by United Consciousness, it took away the gloom of, the energetic presence of Vikram Singh Towar Sahab, and how he connected the whole world through these dialogues. Even despite those challenges, today at this platform of C20, we recommit ourselves toward these noble deeds and noble longings, which can truly transform and bring us back to the real purpose of creation. We can overcome the egoistic hurdles. Often when we are devoid of the spiritual understanding or initiation, egoistic atmosphere take over us. Our mind becomes slave to those aspirations or persuasions. I would close my remarks with one of the last sermons, the teachings of Khawaja Gharib Nawaz, which truly reflects the practical aspect of the responsibilities of Dharma, as well as the spiritual significance where the souls get nourished. Where he says, love all and hate none. Mere talk of peace will avail you not. Mere talk of God and religion will not take you far. Bring out all the latent powers of your being and reveal the full magnificence of your immortal self. Be overflowing with peace and joy and scatter them wherever you are and wherever you go. Be a blazing fire of truth. Be a beauteous blossom of love. And be a soothing balm of peace. With your spiritual light, it is so important to reflect on these words where he says that with your spiritual light, that each one of us have that spiritual light which often get eclipsed. As the Honorable Governor mentioned, that the light which India always upholded did got eclipsed due to some reasons, foreign invasions, due to some egoistic persuasion. But this is the day and age that eclipse is completely overturned with the light where the world is looking up to us. So with your spiritual light, dispel the darkness of ignorance, dissolve the clouds of discord and war, and spread goodwill, peace, harmony among the people. Never seek any help, charity, or favors from anybody except God. Never go to the courts of the king, but never refuse to bless and help the needy, the poor, the widows, the orphan if they come to your door. This is your mission, to serve the people. Carry it out dutifully and courageously, so that I, as your spiritual master, as your spiritual teacher, this often brings tears and a sense of great responsibility, these last two lines, where he says that so that I, as your spiritual master, teacher, may not be ashamed of any of your shortcomings in front of Almighty and the holy predecessors into the spiritual order. So our spiritual teachers, our parents who have received, we have received the spiritual transformation, our elders, they should not be ashamed of any of our shortcomings. This is a great responsibility. And India, as one family, part of this whole universe, I always say that the door of hope, which India has always opened, remains still open. And we are all together have to be the upholders and keeper of that door of hope to the entire world, as our leadership is doing. Thank you, Swamiji, for giving us this moment to share this heart-to-heart, Sina Basina, and to, at the same time, learn from the great speakers. And next 2 days would be really our shared commitment. Adab, salam, Jai Hind, and Namaskaram. Thank you.